with forgiveness, a lot of the time, people get hung up on forgiveness because they say, well, but I can't forgive because if I forgive, then that means something, right? Fill in the blank. They think that means something bad. Like, if I forgive, then that means that I'm condoning the bad behavior that other people did. If I forgive, then it means that that will happen to me again. By the way, that's wrong. It's the opposite. If you don't forgive, it will keep happening to you. But this is the thing that a lot of people believe. They think, if I forgive, then the thing will keep happening to me. The thing that happened that I'm not forgiving, that will keep happening to me if I forgive. Totally backward. Or they say, if I forgive, then I'll never learn. Actually, again, backward, right? If you forgive, then you can learn. If you don't forgive, you won't learn. But people, so you can fill in the blank for yourself. If I forgive, then what? If you have some negative ideas about what forgiveness means, it's worth investigating that to find out that that's actually not true. And usually it's the opposite. Because forgiveness is also, it's the law of attention is also operating there, right? So if I refuse to forgive, then I'm putting my attention on what I'm refusing to forgive. So with the law of attention, it doesn't matter whether you're putting positive or negative attention. Positive and negative is irrelevant. It's just simply the fact that the attention is going there, whatever it's going to, whether you're putting the attention on a positive or a negative sense, the attention still goes there. So if I say, I won't forgive, I won't forgive, I won't forgive, like whatever you're putting your attention on, it's going to that thing. So if you say, I can't forgive this person for this thing that they did, then your attention just keeps going to the thing that they did and how the negative feelings that you have about that, and how all the thoughts that you have about how that's blocking you from goodness in your life, and it's ruined your life and it's held you back, and you're suffering trauma as a result of it. You'll never get over it, and yada, 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 all that stuff. So the more that you keep holding on to the lack of forgiveness, the more that you keep holding on to the stuff that you're not forgiving. So that's how that power, the law of attention works. So that's why forgiving is so important. When you forgive, then you free yourself from all the stuff that you don't want to continue to be holding on to. You're not condoning the stuff. You're not saying that, so somebody treated you badly, if somebody abused you, when you forgive, you're not saying, hey, that's fantastic, I want more of that behavior. You're actually just saying, I now choose to let go of that so that I don't need to continue to attract that in my life. That's what you're saying. You're saying, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to be free of that. And by the way, I'm willing to allow the other person to be free of it as well. So it's not to say, I think what they did was great, but you're also saying, hey, in life, we all get to grow and learn. I want to have the freedom to grow and learn, and therefore I have to extend that possibility to others. I have to give others that grace as well. Because if I don't do that, then what I'm doing is contributing to an environment in which there's this energy, this mass energy that says people can't change. People can't change, people can't grow, people can't learn. And am I a person? Yeah. So then I'm included in that, right? So if I'm saying people can't change, people can't learn, people can't grow, that means I can't change, I can't learn, I can't grow. So forgiveness frees me and others, but just from a selfish perspective, I'm really interested in me, right? It frees me to learn and grow and be happy in my life. So forgiveness is super, super important. Don't allow yourself to make any excuses for why you should not forgive, because it's just going to hurt you. So if you have any doubts about that, then investigate it, just as I've suggested. Just question what your beliefs are there. It's like, so if I forgive, then fill in the blank. What bad things do you think might happen if you forgive? And then just question whether that's actually true, because I promise you it's the opposite. You're actually causing more of those bad things to happen in your life by not forgiving. And when you do forgive, then you free yourself up so that you no longer have to attract those things to you. Acceptance. Okay, so acceptance also, people think, oh, well, if I accept, similar to forgiveness, they think, well, if I accept, then I'm just going to continue to invite that same kind of thing in my life. But it's actually the opposite. Remember, because of the law of attention, whatever you put your attention on. So if you're saying no, I won't allow this, but it's already here, right? Like the thing is happening. By the time you say no, It's already here. It's too late. It's already here. You can't say no until it's already here. It's like, try not to think of a purple striped zebra. You can't, because in order to do that, you have to first think of it and then negate it. So it's always like that. With acceptance, if you say, I will not accept, you're already putting your attention on the thing that you won't accept. Whereas acceptance is really just the release of that. So acceptance isn't really so much a thing as it is the release of the non-acceptance. Similar with forgiveness, right? So forgiveness isn't a thing as much as it is the release of the non-forgiveness. You're actually doing the non-forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't so much a doing as it's a release of the doing of the non-forgiveness. Similar, acceptance isn't so much a doing as it is a release of the non-acceptance. So it's a liberation. It frees you from what you have been putting your attention on, which is what you don't want, right? So if I say no, by definition, if I'm saying no, it's because I don't want it. Now, when I do that, I'm putting my attention and resisting the very thing that I don't want, therefore maintaining that in my life. Whereas when I accept, and I understand how people get tripped up on this because they think, oh, but if I'm accepting, I'm using the law of attention to put attention on the thing that I don't want. But again, it's not that. It's that you're releasing the negative fixation on the thing that you don't want. So the acceptance is really just the liberation where you say, I'm now freed to be able to put my attention on what I do want. I don't need to bind my energy into the resistance of what I don't want. So there's another law that's important to understand here, which is there's a law of cause and effect. So the cause is inside and the effect is outside. So by the time that you are aware of something outside, whether that's a thought or it's an object or a person or an event or whatever, but by the time you have awareness of something as a thing, it's already an effect. It's the result of something. So when you put your attention on that and you say no, then you're keeping yourself at the level of effect, which reduces your ability to produce changes because you can produce changes at the level of cause. So if something's happening in my life, well, anything that's happening in my life is the effect of some inner cause. If I keep my attention on the effect, then I limit my ability to produce the changes that I want, because in order to affect the changes that I want, I have to put my attention at the level of cause, which is within myself. So non-acceptance binds your attention at the level of effect, and it keeps you bound with the very thing that you don't want. Whereas when you accept, you're just acknowledging that this law of cause and effect exists. You're just, that's all you have to do is just say, okay, there's something that's happening. That thing that's happening is the effect of some cause. If I don't like that outcome, if I don't like that effect, if I'm not absolutely satisfied with it, then it's just feedback letting me know that I could change the cause and get a different effect. But if I lock myself into this resistance and I say, no, 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 this cannot be, this, I will not allow it, then I'm locking in place that very thing that I don't want, instead of allowing that to be feedback that allows me then to change the cause so I get a different effect. And what I do instead is I just lock myself into the very thing that I don't want. So understanding that everything, that the experience, the outer experience, any experience is always at the level of cause, rather at the level of effect. And the inner level of cause is where I can produce different effects in my life. So again, understanding the power of acceptance is really, really super important. So